and welcome back to the Reaper. So we're cracking on with our A-10 Charlie. Today is dumb weapons, so weapons without any guidance. So we've got dumb rockets, we've got dumb Mark 82 slicks, and we've got CDU-97 cluster munitions, cluster bombs. We're going to use a mix of CCRP and CCRP, and and we've got our big GAU as well. So, do we have to load these weapons up then, Chairman?
Right, so yeah, it depends. Typically what will happen is if you've either come back from a sortie or you've hot started without munitions on the pylon and you've rearmed, your digital stores management page, the DSMS, will not properly register the weapons because basically the computer isn't aware what weapons are on the pylons. So you have to go back to the load page and reload the DSMS.
Right. So
although typically it might actually be faster, or well, it's a lazier way to do it is just to load all again.
right, so okay, so I've kept my finger on that and got back to display program. Click on load, click on TAD, then click on load down here, click load all, and wait. When it's loaded the store information, current store information, we'll get some stars come up here, and then we're good to go.
Remember that.
There we go, so got my stars there. Go to the digital source management screen, DSMS there, and we can just double check everything, blah blah blah. Yep, that's all the stuff I've got. Right, so I don't suppose there's no clever stuff to go through really. We just get airborne, head 060 and find the convoy, I suppose.
Yes, let's do it.
Roger, ready.
Spooling.
When you're airborne, just have a check on map and make sure it is 060. I think it is.
I'll have a look.
Right, who's going to be heavier this time?
The fact that I'm flinging myself all over the runway doesn't exactly help. Okay, rotate. Airborne.
Check gear. Yep.
Yeah, it's coming up. Flaps up. Alright, so it looks like the nearest target group is that group by the lake that we usually end up demonstrating on.
Okay.
Which is about 060. I'm rolling right towards them. Okay, I think I tally the lake. Okay, tally our targets.
Roger, right, I'm backing off. Right, arm. So we've got to go through arm and weapon selection, I suppose.
Yes, so give me a second to reset my TGP. Right, so I've gone ahead and marked them and set them as my speed. So let's start with what you want to do. Get yourself into CCIP mode.
Stand by. CCIP.
Right. Then turn on your master arm.
Master arm on.
Right. So on your HUD, what should be reading is manual release and weapons off.
Roger.
Give me a second. So, select your HUD as your sensor of interest.
Got it.
Then use TMDMS forward short to cycle through your available weapons.
TMS forward short.
I am a fucking moron. It's Delta Mike Sierra right.
Go to Delta Mike Sierra right. Let's try that again. Let me go back and check I'm in CCIP. So I'm in CCIP
Yeah, you might
now.
want to come back this way as quickly as possible. I'm getting nails, SA6.
Roger, turning. So it's DMS right, you would say?
And left. Either of them
Yep.
will cycle through your available weapons.
Right, now we're clicking on gas. So I've got an M151, I've got a Mark 82, I've got a CBU-97, and the weapons off.
Right. So, if you Mark 82, self-explanatory, M151 Rocket Pod.
And then the rocket pod gives me kind of 2 concentric circles and a dot in the middle.
Yes, so if you'll meet up with me quickly, we'll go through a rocket run. So essentially in CCIP, the rocket mode is fairly similar to the gun mode in that you're aiming the sight at the impact point. You fly over and press the trigger.
Roger, so it's continuously calculated impact point, that's fine. Looking for you, one flare please. Tally.
Okay, that's more than one flare, but it'll do.
You turn in when you're ready.
Alright, I'm turning in towards the target area.
Is it weapon release or trigger?
Weapon release. It should not be the gun trigger. The gun trigger on the A-10 is a dedicated weapon. So yes, weapon release is what you're looking for. I am inbound now.
Joy.
I will be strafing with guns. You will be going with rockets.
Any idea how many are going to come out at once? I haven't set any salvo.
By default, it should be just one rocket per trigger squeeze. However, when we do a video on the advanced use of the DSMS page, we will explain how to modify that.
Roger. How do the concentric circles work? Are they going to unwind? Something going to unwind, I imagine?
You should get basically a winding gun range on probably the inner circle, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
That will show you your ideal range. Yeah, the inner circle will wind down when you get in range. Alright, I'm coming in range with my guns now. Guns.
Tally targets. Preparing to fire. Up in range and rifle.
Good rifles.
Wow, look at that destruction.
It looks awesome, doesn't it? You gotta love the new effects. So that is the basics of how you use CCIP rockets. I believe you can use them in CCRP mode, but I have no idea why you would want to do that unless you're flying in like thick fog.
Right, Roger, that's good. Next, what we got? The Mark 82 slick. Shall we try?
Yes, Mark 82s.
Okay, Mark 82. Okay, I've slicked it on it, and I've had a line come up. It's just disappeared. Where's that gone?
Congratulations, you have just picked up the CCIP pipper.
Yes, dotted vertical line, kind of.
The reason it's a dotted vertical line is because the release point is currently below the horizon. It's basically telling you, look, you really shouldn't drop this right now because you have no idea where it's going to land.
Roger. Okay, I'm going to get back on a rough idea. So, it's just going to be... I'm guessing there's going to be a cross or something on that line up here when I'm at a suitable altitude.
You'll essentially see an impact circle in the same way you would see a impact crosshair in the Harrier.
Roger. Okay, going around for a run from the
Remember, your dive angle is probably going to have to be substantially steeper because you're dealing with retarded bombs here. The Mark 82 Snake Eye is essentially a Mark 82 with a parachute on the end of it.
Roger, going up for a 20-30 degree dive.
Oh, sorry, this is not the Snake Eye, this is the Air, the Mark 82 Air, which is the parachute. The Snake Eye has drag fins.
Negative, Cap has slicks.
Oh, standards, sorry. But either way, you'll be going fast and the release method is the same, just the CCIP will do the calculation for you.
Cap turning in. On the south.
Right, Sherman coming in from the... yeah, from the south as well. Tally cap. Right, so when you're in the dive, you'll also notice something that looks like a half a square, the top half of a square. That's known as the mandatory pull up cue, which is basically saying pull up, or if you release the weapons now, you will A, damage your own aircraft, B, crash into the ground.
Okay. Right, so I've got to line this up.
Right. So you essentially want to go into a dive until you see the impact points start appearing.
Troy.
And then just put the impact point over your target and press the weapon release cue. As you can see, it's also got a range thing here.
I like this. This is good.
Pick it up.
Pop, 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 pop. Yay! I got them, I got them, I got them. That was sweet.
So that's the basics of how to use it. Again, we'll go over how to drop more than one in a single salvo in the advanced Dismas video.
Yeah. Look at that destruction. Awesome.
Yeah, and that process applies to any type of Mark 82. You can use it for GBUs, but obviously it's advised to use CCRP with the GBU instead.
I was amazing how accurate they were. They were bang on. Exactly where I clicked them. Chuffed with that.
It's amazing what you can do when your computer perfectly calculates your impact point for you.
Right, that's the Mark 82 sticks done. That was pretty easy, simple. Next, going to CBU, if I can remember how. CBU 97, and we want to do a CCRP drop on these.
Right, so this is where things get interesting. CCRP calculates the release point based on where your SPI is, and assumes that your SPI is the impact point.
Right, I don't have a SPI set up yet, and I don't have a targeting pod either, so that's in trouble.
So, that's not a problem in this case, because you can set up a SPI via the HUD, and you have a massive great ball of fire to designate as a target.
Right, well I've got soy on HUD, so now I can move my little designator around. And is it TMS up, short, and then long?
Yes.
Right, hold up. Gonna have to take me a second to turn around. So CCRP really you could do with a targeting pod, couldn't you? To get it really accurate.
Well, CCIP helps you find the target, and if you designate a point on the ground and you hover over them, then you can essentially cross-reference the two to be the release points.
Okay, this isn't going to be the most accurate thing in the world, but I've got there. So it's now TMS up short and then TMS up long, isn't it?
Well, forward short and forward long, but I keep getting that name mixed up, so whatever.
Okay, I've got the SPI, and I've also got some new symbology come up with a line drop and stuff, but I'm going to turn around and get some distance from it.
Alright, let me explain the symbology while you're turning. How it works is that you essentially have what looks like the CCIP bomb release line, right? That will be in the center of your screen. You then have a secondary line which goes across the screen from top to bottom and has a little circle with a dot in the middle, right? That is essentially your direction line that you want to be flying in order to release the weapon. You want to align your, what wouldn't be your CCI impact cross with the line as best you can and fly straight towards it. What will happen is that little circle will come up with a 20-second warning up on the HUD and start counting down until 0 and start heading towards the impact line, the impact pepper. In this case, the impact pepper is acting as a release cue.
Roger.
So all you want to do is press and hold the weapon release button right up to the point where it reaches 0. You will hear the bombs go off, and then you can turn away.
Alright, just kept turning in, let's give it a shot.
You can, in theory, once you've lined them up properly, just set yourself to straighten level autopilot and you'll fly straight over. And at the very least, you might want to set up your autopilot once you've finished your run, because you will want to see what these CBU-97s can do. They are a very interesting weapon.
Right, so I'm lining up my big vertical line with the small vertical line, which is weird because it's not directly over the target, it's to the left.
The reason is it's correcting for things like wind drift.
So I want both vertical lines on top of each other though, don't I?
Yes, you want the weapon release queue sitting inside of the line to target line.
This is hard, man. When do I start holding down bomb release?
Well, preferably you hold down the weapon release at about 5 seconds out from release. It'll tell you. So when you see 5, you can press and hold until you hear the bombs go.
I'm chasing this line. I'm abandoning it. Yeah, I did see that, but I was chasing the line so much I was getting out of shape, so I'm going round again.
Sure, roger that.
Is there any problem with, can you hold the bomb release too early? I don't think you can you?
No, not at all. It will not authorize the release unless it detects that the plane is at the release point. So you don't have to worry about a premature release.
Altitude-wise, I'm guessing it doesn't really matter.
Say again?
I'm guessing altitude doesn't really matter.
For a cluster bomb, typically you do need a bit of reasonable altitude because you need time for the bomb to actually release its bomblets.
Noted.
But if you're doing CCRP at Angels 3, or whatever your current Angels is, I think we're at Angels 7 or so, then you should be able to get it just fine.
Right.
And once you've released the bomb and got yourself an autopilot, then follow the bomb in F6. Trust me, you'll want to see this.
Right, I see it counting down. I'm happy with
Press
it.
and hold weapons release.
Yep, much happy with it this time. 11, 10, 9... 3, 2, 1, bombs away.
Bomb away. Alright, now we'll follow it in the F6 view.
Oh dear, Sherman. Oh no, I see it. Explodes above it. It explodes above it.
Yeah, now
there it goes.
Press it again and watch the little bomb dispensers. Assuming there's anything left down there for them to detect.
Yeah.
So this is the CBU-97. How it works is essentially these things are going to dispense little guided copper tubes that will home onto thermal signatures. They will float in the air for a bit, find a signature, and then release a molten charge attack. Right, so they're reaching their detonation altitude, so they should pop. Yeah, there they go.
Yeah, I dropped them on those tanks, so I didn't realise they were for armour this time. Next ones I'm going to do against armour. Much more sensible.
Yeah, but they are attacking.
Right, I'm going to go and redo my SPI on some armour. I see the use of the weapon. And it was very accurate. It's exactly where I put it.
Yeah, not only that, but the fact that it's a cluster bomb that actually shoots its targeting stuff up back into the air means you can hit a wide area with guided munitions. It's effectively a semi-guided bomb.
Auntie, stop blowing everything up. I need something to blow up. Okay, what have we got to blow up?
So now a similar thing applies to any bomb you release with CCRP. It'll try and fall as accurately as possible on your designated SPI.
How do I cancel my current SPI? Because I can't move it about at the moment. I'm stuck on CCRP. With the.
What do you mean?
I want to designate a new SPI. It's okay. I think I found out how to do it. I've got the box.
All you have to do is move the speed. That's all you have to do.
And sometimes it disappears. It's annoying, but yeah, it's fine.
It will always be there unless you press TMS down, which will reset it to your steer point. Pickle GBU 38.
Okay, give me a tank flex. They're all dead, Shermaine. They're all dead.
You can still aim at them.
Roger, aiming at these dudes here. Gonna go up and up. Okay, we've got it signed up. Next, we're gonna select our weapon. Right, so let's turn in, get this bomb dropped.
Right. So, for other types of bomb in CCRP, having the SPI set up correctly is very important. So, for example, the GBU-38 is GPS guided, and it will use the SPI as the impact point.
Roger.
So if you set the wrong SPI and you're targeting a different location and you release the GBU-38, it will try and go for your SPI regardless.
Nice.
It's important to remember that when you're arming the SPI, especially for a GPS guided bomb, because it doesn't need a laser designator, but it'll go for that target no matter what you do after you release the weapon.
Yeah. Right, cap is bombing. 12 seconds. 9. 7. 'I kind of missed, but we'll see it through anyway.
It's fine. It's a large area cluster bomb, so.
Yep, I see them going down. I aim for those 6, so let's see if it goes anywhere near them. Come on, little bomblets. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
They're just descending to their attack altitude. But what will happen then is the dispensers will dispense the little bomblets, which are essentially just heated copper warheads. They will then try and track a thermal target. When they find it, they'll come down on the top armor and absolutely fucking wreck it.
Cool.
There
Yep.
we go.
Yeah, I did miss, but I knew I'd miss because I got the thing wrong. Cool, right, well that's... Oh, guns, Shermaine is next, so let's go and have guns. Okay.
Right, so simply select your gun mode at this point.
Roger, do we need to arm the gun?
Yes. When you arm the gun, you will also notice that your plane noses down a little bit.
Roger.
This is essentially just the flight system.
So, first of all, so now I want to try guns, Shermaine. So I'm going to select my gun. You said there was something about a trigger or something I had to do.
The A-10 has a 2-stage trigger. The first stage of the trigger will stabilize the flight controls of the plane to basically make sure that when you do flight controls, you will do only minor adjustments so you keep your gun relatively steady. Now, this is a bit of a problem if you don't have a 2-stage trigger on your flight controls, but I've got around it with a button on my joystick regardless.
Roger, looking for the solution, so it's going to be searching for trigger. Okay, I now have first stage trigger. I'm going to change to concentrate CC, no guns, just need guns. Guns are selected, master arm on, guns arm on. I've got...
Right, so you'll notice the moment that you hit the gun arm switch, your nose will dip a little. That's the flight controls essentially compensating to put you in a proper attack run.
Roger.
Okay, so we have the targets are over there by the lake to our left. We're not going to hit the vehicles just at the moment, so instead we'll strafe the bunkers next to them. I'm turning in.
Bunkers, roger, and I should use the first stage trigger just before I fire, I guess.
Essentially, you get your gun cross lined up, and you then use the first stage trigger to steady the aircraft. You press and hold it, and it'll stay steadied for as long as possible. Right, so I now have myself relatively lined up. First stage trigger, and now the plane will remain substantially more steady.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Right, so if you look at the gun cross, you'll actually see that there are two little dots.
Roger.
The first one represents the impact point of armor-piercing rounds. The second one represents that of high explosive.
Right, firing at bunkers. Cap, fire.
Are you... Okay, you are in range, okay.
Yeah.
Remember, you'll have the range Q as the inner circle.
It worked, Sherman.
Guns.
Wow, I just nailed the shit out of that.
Turning cold. You are
again.
taking fire, so turning cold.
Roger, turning out.
Nice thing about the A-10 is that you can actually afford to take fire.
Roger. I'm gonna go around again, see what I can nail. That's a powerful gun.
Try and avoid the convoy. I want to keep them grouped up for my demonstration.
Roger, I'm burning the oil drums. Attacking from north, oil drums. First stage trigger, and... oh wait. Bang, shack. And shack. Woohoo! Whoops, I got hit, but I'm okay, folks.
Yeah.
Just a few dents in the old wing. What we need now is a big loop to get the hell out of here.
You're still being shot at. I strongly suggest you fly away from them.
Roger, I'm out of range. Right, I'm happy with the gun. Might as well use all the last of my rounds on this house down here to satisfy everyone who might be watching. And cap is fire. Bird, bird, bird.
I'm preparing for my demonstration of what the CBU-97 can do against active targets.
Roger, just putting myself in autopilot standby as I get this sorted.
Better make it quick.
I need altitude hold.
4, 3, 2, 1, pickle.
I'm out. Following bomb. Going down, and it split its charges.
Now, follow the sub-munitions.
Following sub-munitions.
So after this, can I do my attack run?
Roger.
Yes. Now what will happen is the dispensers will dispense the copper charges, they will seek out the heat sources from the vehicles and blow them to living shit. You'll also notice that they actually start rising again due to how they're jettisoned.
Oh, snap. Everything dead.
As you can see, really fucking lethal weapon.
Yeah, that was a bit obscene. That concludes the dumb weapons video. Next we're going to go and arm up with guided weapons and start with the guided weapons.